Hi boys and girls. Today in our math lesson we're going to be on page 653 and it's lesson 10.1. Go ahead and open up your math workbooks. I actually already started page 653 and Riley came down and interrupted me, so I had to restart the video, so some of them I already have filled in. So today's lesson we're going to be gathering data and marking down our data points with tally marks. So for the lesson, they wanted us to pull cubes out of a bag, but I don't have cubes at home. So what I was doing was pulling markers out of a bag, green, blue, and red markers. And every time I pulled one out of a bag, I put a tally mark down. So far, and you can mark this down with your pencil, I pulled out 2 blues, 2 reds, and 4 greens. So take a moment right now to put 2 tally marks, 1, 2 for the blue, 1, 2 for the red, and 1, 2, 3, 4 for the green. And I'm going to keep pulling them out so we can see what we got. Okay, we have another red one, so I'm going to add a tally mark to the red. So pulling them out. This one was blue. I'm going to add a tally mark to the blue. Black, that doesn't count. Here's a red one. We're going to put another tally mark for the red. Another red. Now I have 4 reds already. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If you remember my last lesson, I said I always think of 4 horses in a barn. You can only have 4 in a barn. That's all that fits. So we have to shut the gate, and that makes the 5. Okay, so we have 3 blues so far, 5 reds, and 3 greens. Or 4 greens. There's a blue. I'll mark down that blue. Another blue. Okay, so we have 4 blues right now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 horses in the barn. We have to cross it off. So now we have 5 blues. We have another blue. I'm going to start my new set of horses. Man, I thought green was going to win, and then green ended up backing up. Okay, and then I have 1 more blue. All right, so taking a look at our total amounts, this is what you should have on your chart. So we ended up with 5, 6, 7 blues, 5 reds, and 1, 2, 3, 4 greens. And I can write that up there so that you can see that. So we ended up with 7 blues, 5 reds, and 4 greens. So think about when we get to that 4th tally mark, what do we have to do to show that there are 5 there? We have to cross it off. So when we got the blue, 1, 2, 3, 4, cross it off for 5. And then we start a new set. The reds, 1, 2, 3, 4, we had to cross it off, that equaled 5. And then finally with the green, we had 1, 2, 3, 4. We did not have enough to cross it off, so it's just 4 single ones, and that's why we had 4. All right, make sure you have that all filled in correctly. I made a mess with my markers now. And then go ahead and flip your page to page 654. I have my sweater on today. I'm freezing downstairs. So you can take a survey to collect data. We did this in school, if you can remember, when we took the survey, we went around and asked everybody what their favorite things are. So today, Greg asked his classmates which lunch was their favorite. The tally marks in the tally chart show the children's answers. Each tally mark stands for one child's choice. So if we read our tally chart, it says favorite lunch. These are the different choices of lunch: pizza, sandwich, salad, pasta. And then the tally marks show how many. I always tell my students to write down the tally mark numbers next to the tally mark so that they can easily see it. So let's count how many pizza choices we had. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 pizza choices. We had, that's easy. I know that that's 5 because there's a cross out. So 5, 6 sandwiches, 1, 2, 3 salad choices, and 1, I don't even have to count. There's a cross off there, so I know that there are 5 pasta choices. So see how we did that? We made sure we understood the tally chart before we moved on. All right, let's take a look at question number 1. It says, take a survey, ask 10 classmates which pet is their favorite. Use tally marks to show their choices. So what I did was I called up 10 of my family members and asked them what their favorite choices were. So I'm going to go through my list and show you what they all said. I got to get my paper out for what I saw. So my mom liked birds best. Max liked dogs best. Riley liked her fish best. My husband liked dogs best, Mr. Collins, and I like dogs best. Harper likes cats best. She likes to say meow. Okay, so that was my immediate family and my mom. My dad said that he liked fish best. He likes to go to the lily pond with my kids. So I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So after that, I called my brother and sister-in-law. My brother, he said he doesn't really like animals that much, but he lives by Mill Creek Park and he likes to watch the birds. So he said birds. And then my sister-in-law loves cats. She has a cat named Scruffy. And then I needed one more because they said to ask a total of 10 people. So I asked my neighbor across the street while she was getting her mail. I said, hey, what's your favorite kind of animal or pet? And she said cat. She has 2 cats at her house. So we ended up with 3 cats, 3 dogs, 2 fish, and 2 birds for our data. So now we're going to use that data chart to answer our questions. Number 2. How many classmates chose a dog? So we're going to go to our dog line, and it says 1, 2, 3. So we had 3 classmates choose the dog. Which pet did the fewest classmates choose? Well, in this case, it's a tie. So there were 2 animals that chose the least amount. What 2 animals was that? Very good. The fish and the bird. Fish and the bird. And how many for each of those? 2. Very good. Did more classmates choose a cat or a dog? How many more? Subtract. All right, so did more choose the cat or the dog? Ooh, that's a tricky one. So in this case, 3 chose a cat, 3 chose a dog. So it was the same. So we're going to write same on the line. And for how many more? We would subtract 3 minus 3, which equals 0. So there were 0 more classmates that liked the cat or the dog. Okay, if you need more time on that page, go ahead and hit the pause button. We are going to move on to the next page. So we are now on page 655. This one, they wanted us to ask classmates which indoor game would be their favorite. So I asked, again, family members, but if you wanted to call up maybe 10 of your family members and ask them what their favorite indoor game is, you could do that and do your own. That might be a fun thing to do today. All right, so let's take a look. We have favorite indoor games, and the games were board games, card games, computer games, puzzle games, and the tally. So I'm going to go through my family's choices again. So for board games, Riley, Max, and my Aunt Debbie all chose board games. They love playing board games when they're at my house. All right, card games was my husband. He likes to play card games with his friends. Computer games are my favorite. I like to be on the computer or my phone. So I got 1 for that. And then Harper also chose computer games because she likes to play on the iPad. So then I called my mom and my dad, and they both like to do puzzles. And so we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I called 2 more people. I called my great papa, or my grandpa, who they call great papa. He likes to do puzzles best. And then I called my best friend Danielle, and she likes to play board games best. So I gave another tally to the board games. All right, so fill in your data. If you wanted to ask your own people what their favorites were, you can fill in your own. If you don't want to ask, you can just use my data. How many classmates chose the board game? So I'm going to go up to the board game. I'm going to look at my tallies, and I put 4 tallies, so I know that 4 classmates chose the board game. Which game did the most classmates choose? So I'm going to look at all 4 of my categories, and I'm going to write the numbers in. So board game I see was 4, card game was 1, computer game was 2, and puzzle was 3. So which one had the most? Very good. It was actually the board game. Did more classmates choose a card game or a computer game? So card game, computer game. Computer game was 2. Card game was 1. So more students chose that computer game. So I'm going to write computer. And then it says how many more? Subtract. So I have to subtract 2 minus 1. And that equals 1 more classmate. And finally, which game did the fewest classmates choose? So look up at our chart. Which one did the fewest one choose? Good, it was a card game. Which was only 1 person chose the card game. All right, how many classmates did not choose a board game or a puzzle? So board game was 4 and a puzzle was 3. So we would add those two numbers up together. 4 plus 3 equals 7. So 7 chose the board game and the puzzle. So to figure out how many didn't choose that, we're going to look at the other two, the card and the computer, which would be 1 plus 2 equals 3 students did not choose a board game, I'm going to put BG, or puzzle. And the reason why we were able to figure that out is we added up what, I got rid of the board game, got rid of the puzzle, and I saw that there were only cards and computers, and I added those two numbers up together, 1 and 2, so I know that 3 students did not choose to play those. Okay, if you need more time on that page, hit the pause button. Go ahead and finish filling that in and then unpause it so we can continue. And I'm going to start filming my next session so this one's not too long.